Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because, wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
Socks are the worst. What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood. That looks like old meatball in there, and it's gross. With Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson. You can't argue with the whiteboard.
A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas
so you don't have to. This will save you a trip to the urgent care.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to What Fresh Hell, Laughing in the Face of Motherhood. This is Amy.
And this is Margaret. And today we're starting off with Mailbag.
Mailbag.
Featuring our new mailbag sound effect from...
I love it so much. From Janelle.
From Janelle, Chicago harpist Janelle. And our mailbag comes from Christy on our Facebook group, who says, I got your back, Margaret. The real world slogan is, what happens when people stop being polite and start getting real? And I could not come up with slogan for the real world the other day.
That's what it was. We were talking about in terms of being diverse. Somehow we led to the real world.
Yeah, we decided the real world was our experience in diversity. And we were like, when people stop doing something and start getting real. Polite, of course. And I will say, Christy and Halston, a lot of feedback, shock that you had never watched the real world, Amy.
Not even mad, just shocked. Just, I don't understand it. Guys, I remember it. I mean, I was alive. I remember, the world really wanted me to watch it. I'm like, I don't think that show's for me.
You just rejected it.
Yeah.
Do you do Real Housewives?
Oh, yes. I mean, we've talked about this. I've stopped watching it because I feel like it's not good for me. It's like dyes and food. Like, I'm probably better off without the Real Housewives in my life. But yes, I used to watch certain varieties.
Interesting.
But the real world, which really created the genre of reality television. I just
skipped it.
Yeah, I don't know. I escaped its orbit. Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
Well, we all make our choices in this life, Amy.
We all make our choices.
Maybe you were not watching bad reality TV because you were trying to make your life easier and more streamlined.
Oh my gosh.
Do you see how I'm trying to segue to our topic?
Yes, you're segueing to super awesome mom hacks, which is our topic for today. We need an easy one. We need some easy wins.
Super awesome mom hacks is what we're talking about today. We went to our Facebook group and we said, what makes life just a little tiny bit easier for you? And y'all came through.
Can I give you one of my own that's very useful to me in these long days?
Please. Start us strong.
I saw this on Pinterest or something, and it's changed my life. You know how you close your blackout curtains or whatever you have, but there's still a line of light that kind of peeks through, or maybe it's your kid's room. That little sunbeam that wakes you up from a nap.
Do I ever?
Here's what you do. This was supposedly for a hotel. I'm doing it now every night in my own room. You take one of those pants hangers that, hang up pants. So they have clips on them that hang up skirts or pants.
Yes.
Turn it vertically, use that to clip the curtains together across that gap that doesn't quite work. I swear to God, we have right now one of those hangers on the floor right by our curtains so that when we go to bed, we can clip the curtains shut and we don't have that weird line coming in and waking us up.
I made, when my kids were young, I have a kid who's got some sensory stuff. And one of the ways it first manifested was that, any glimpse of light in the morning would wake him up.
Right.
And so I made blackout. We had picture like long horizontal windows, kind of, and they were at the top kind of the room. And I made... You would have to have smallish windows, which were in this room. I made like a picture frame and I covered it with blackout curtain material and I Velcroed it to the window. Can you picture what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And then eventually my husband made little hinges so it could pop out like a shutter. But I made completely window covering blackout, like a framed picture that covered the entire window with blackout tape. It was intense, but it worked.
It sounds intense. Yeah, so the hanger is like, it makes me happy every night that I have this little tiny hack that's changed my life.
That keeps your room. It's like there was a movie a long time ago with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. People think I imagined this movie, but it was called Insomnia. And it happens in Alaska during the midnight sun. And a lot of the scenes are him.
Guys, she imagined this movie.
This might have been a fever dream that I had. But duct tape and garbage bags over the windows. There are just some people who really need a dark room to sleep in.
That's me.
I like a dark room to sleep in, but I don't even have curtains at my window. The sun doesn't wake me up.
It just doesn't wake you. Yeah, no, I'm hypersensitive that way.
I just sleep with a pillow over my head and that's fine.
Let's move to some of our listeners because we got some good ones here. This is one that I can really stand behind. Kate says the way she gets her kids to behave is to make everything a club. Kate is the mom of 5. She says this works well when you start with kids under 5. You can have the Good Eaters Club, the Self-Buckler Club in the car, the Teeth Brusher Club. Who's a member?
That's funny.
I used to do something like this when my kids were little. I would do super awesome guy. Like the first person to have their shoes on and be ready by the door is super awesome guy. And it lasted like they were older than you might think. Then, to battle to be super awesome guy, the first one to have their seatbelts buckled. And if there were ever any tears, then I would just be like, okay, the next person to do it is also totally awesome guy. Or like... worthy of great merit guy, and then that would be fine because they'd win their own award. It motivates them. I totally agree.
You are big, and I think you convinced me of this, that buy-in.
Yes.
This is something in improv and comedy. A lot of times we talk about like commit to the bit. Like everything you do on a stage is inherently ridiculous. Like you're pretending to be something you're not, whether or not you're an actor. But especially with comedy, it's like if you don't believe in it, if you say the funniest thing in the world, nobody's going to go there with you. And you talk a lot about that with kids. That like buy-in is 90% of the game.
Yep, exactly.
That if you can sell them that it's like this super fun green bean dinner, that you're going to do better than like, I guess, try these,
Yeah, it requires like zero. You don't need the Velcro and the tape. It doesn't require any craft supplies. It just requires you on the fly being like, and I came up with Super Awesome Guy out of desperation. I was driving my kids on the highway. I couldn't get the DVD player going. We were in a HUV lane, so I couldn't exit. You know what I mean? And they were fighting. And I just said, the first one to see a truck is a super awesome guy. And it totally worked. So, desperation leads to some great ideas.
I love it. I've also never heard HUV lane. We would say HOV lane. Two kinds of people.
I love this one, too. Nicole said she tried so many charts, incentive programs, etc. for her kids to work on. She says they're elementary school aged. They work with varying success. The most effective so far is iPad tokens, little circles that Nicole made and laminated that say, I've earned 10 minutes of iPad time. I hand them out for staying in bed until 7 a.m., completing household jobs, controlling their hands, and then the kids cash them in during allowed screen times.
Love it. Mm-hmm. I am still to this day using my beloved whiteboard, which I've talked about a million times. For me, the whiteboard was always like, here's what the day looks like. You can have an hour and a half of screens. And now my kids are playing. They're older. They're playing more elaborate games and stuff. They're not just kind of like watching a cartoon or something. And so I'm like, knock yourself out on screens. But then you've got to do a half an hour of outdoor play. Then you've got to do a half an hour of reading and the checklists. And I'm doing also... We're having a little problem with back talk in my house right now, Amy. That may surprise you now that I have tweens. It's not even back talk. It's just, we have to do a whole episode on this. I don't want to be talked to like I'm an idiot in my home. Yep. I just will not have it. It will not stand. It is a hill I will die on. And that is not going great when I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. I mean, you are an idiot is just the default tone of voice that they employ whenever talking to me. I mean, I can almost laugh about it. What was I asking the other day? oh, well, Kirsten said this. I said, oh, who's Kirsten? Oh, like, you idiot. You don't know Kirsten from the 7th grade? I'm like, no, I don't know anybody. What? Like, the things, I don't know if they think I know these things or they just enjoy talking to me like I'm a moron. But anyway,
yeah.
I have started a 5-strike system. I started at 3 strikes and that it was a little too few.
Everybody was striking out.
If you talk to me 5 times like that during a day, I put an X on the board and you're off screens for the rest of the night. I'm not going to have it.
This reminds me of the Sideways Tales from Wayside School book, which are fabulous for kids. And the teacher writes the word discipline on the blackboard. When somebody does something they're not supposed to do, she just writes the word discipline. And then the next time, Bradford's name or Bobby's name or whoever gets written on the blackboard under the word discipline. And that's all that ever happens. Nothing ever happens. Just having your name up there. I will say, like the whiteboard, the iPad tokens, I'm kind of contradicting what I said a few minutes ago, but having that physical thing, you can't argue with the whiteboard, right? Even for teenagers, like you have to do these 5 things today, and here's the list, and there's the whiteboard.
The key is like neutral space, because what happens otherwise is, oh, Kristen said that. Who's Kristen? Mom, how could you be so stupid not to know Kristen? And I'm like, don't talk to me that way. I'm not talking to you like that at all. It stops you from like getting into the back and forth. Don't talk to me that way. What way? That way you're talking to me. I'm not doing anything. It's just happening. There's no happiness in getting into a verbal altercation with a 12-year-old, but being talked to like a moron is my kryptonite. And so I have to find a solution for it. I can't let it go.
All right. Well, we're going to come up with some more solutions here I don't know if we have any more behavior solutions.
Clearly, Amy, we need a whole separate episode.
Yes.
Dealing with my issues with my children and their talking. But for now, let's just concentrate on some good, useful hacks.
Some other hacks. Okay, let's move to some diaper potty training hacks because there are some really good ones here. I am learning. This is a today I learned for me. Kimberly says the onesie, you guys, is cut in a way it slides down. Like, can you picture the baby's onesie, how it has sort of
the folds at the shoulder.
Fold over the shoulder.
Yeah.
That's so you don't have to take it off of their head. You can slide it down. Rachel says, I did not know this until my youngest was out of diapers. It has become my mission to tell every pregnant woman this. Thanks, Rachel. We should have you as a guest. We need to amplify this message.
One of my kids had field day and they were talking about somebody slid across the ground or something. And he was like, they fell on their butt and then the dirt went all the way up their back. And he was like, it looked really funny, but he didn't want to say it. It was like they pooped all the way from their butt all the way up to their neck. And he's like, yeah, but it looked like that, but it was only funny because it was not impossible. And I was like, oh, wait till you have a baby. You will learn that is in fact quite possible. Yeah.
Sometimes while you're holding them, right? You're like, what is that on my arm?
What happened there? Mm-hmm. In the 2 Kinds of People episode, we discussed people who cut the onesie off and people who do not. I'm team cut the onesie off.
Yeah, I think that's an important moment to remember. This thing costs $1.99 max and like they'll make more. You can have more.
Yeah, there's a lot of downsides to disposable world, but one of the upsides is that you have more onesies.
Laura has a diaper trick. She says, while you're changing the diaper, unfold a new diaper underneath the diaper that you're changing. Worst case scenario, you throw away 2 diapers instead of 1. I think she's talking about when they're really little and they go when you have their diaper off for some reason. That seems to be.
Or the spillage, let's just say that if stuff is wrong, that catch it. Then instead of changing the diaper pad, you're throwing away an extra diaper.
Yeah. And Sarah says she uses puppy training pads, which again, just because they're called puppy, it's just a big piece of cotton. It's a potty training pad. It could use for anybody.
It's a diaper.
Yeah, it's just a pad. So you can put it underneath in the crib. You can put it underneath the crib sheet. She says she uses it on the changing table because it protects the changing table. And then, if you do have a mess, you can leave it there until it gets dirty and then you just throw the whole thing away.
We had a tip on another episode we did a long time ago, and I still think about it. Didn't know about it when my kids were little and wish I did. It's puppy training pad sheet. Puppy training pad sheet, puppy training pad sheet. And that's how you make the crib up so that when they have an accident during the night, you just pull the top layer off and then they're back on a regular sheet. You're not changing the crib sheet at night.
Oh my God. There's nothing worse than when you have to start tugging on the corners of the mattress, reaching over the crib down way down into it to pull up the edges of the thing. Yeah, with the baby, no.
Oh, there were definitely times where I was like, okay, you're just sleeping on like the crinkly mattress topper because there's no way I'm changing a crib sheet. First of all, changing a crib sheet is like, you would have to put the baby on the floor. It's ridiculous.
Kelly says, I want to give this one a shout out too. She says, make sure you have one of these puppy training pads. Just keep one in your diaper bag so that when you're changing kids like in a gas station or something like that, you have a clean surface.
Yeah, I mean, they sell like big plastic ones that you can wipe down and put down, but possibly the disposables are maybe the way to go.
I bet the puppy training pads are probably cheaper. Okay, we'll be right back with more super awesome mom hacks.
For some of us, tax season is one of the only times that we look at our finances fully. And once it's over, well, that was terrible. And it is completely understandable not to want to think about it for another whole year. But using Monarch and being intentional with your finances in an ongoing way helps you see where your money is going and how you can put your refund to best use.
We are here to tell you, simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop.
Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code FRESH.
As you know, my husband and I are preparing to send, 3 kids off to college, and I cannot tell you how helpful Monarch has been in showing us our full financial picture, helping us to track our spending and reach important savings milestones. Our weekly meeting, Amy, it's now run by Monarch.
Love it. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple.
Use code FRESH at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code FRESH.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about, like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
Okay, we're back. Amy, let's talk about pacifier weaning. I think you have a good pacifier weaning hack.
I do. And I might have told this once long ago, but I'll tell it again. So I had told my son, part of the tip is wait until your kid is definitely way too old to be doing this thing. And then it's easier to get it away from them. I didn't get my kid off a pacifier until his 3rd birthday at night. He didn't have it like walking around, but he had it at night in his bed. He had his pacifier until his 3rd birthday because he wanted it because he was a child. But I told him that once you turn 3, your big boy 3-year-old teeth make it so you can't use a pacifier anymore. So we were counting down like 12, the 2 weeks, 12 days, whatever, till his birthday. They said in 12 more days, your big boy teeth are going to put a hole in your pacifier. And then on his 3rd birthday, we used the scissors to snap the tip off the pacifier before we gave it to him at bedtime. And my husband and I had all worked out, like, you spend the night on the couch with him tonight. I'll do tomorrow night. Like we had planned the first week of who was going to switch off the tears and sleepless nights that would ensue. And he would just put it in his mouth and he's like, this one broken. And I was like, oh, it's happened. It's your 3-year-old teeth. They are too big for the pacifier. And he said, oh, I don't want it. And he handed it to me and went to bed and he never used one again.
That's classic.
Yeah.
I have the reverse tip, though. There are kids who like specific pacifiers, right? I mean, it's like bottles. I don't know what the magic or mouth shape or DNA, whatever happens, that there are certain pacifiers. My kid, I don't even remember what kind they were now, but I remember there was one brand of pacifier was the only brand my kid would take. And I think my kid was much younger, probably 1. And I decided, let's just get rid of the pacifiers. And I had read in a book like, the pacifier fairy and whatever, you throw them away. And let me tell you, about 3 a.m., I realized I had made a horrible mistake and I did not have any pacifiers. I would, when you're getting rid of the pacifiers, keep some hidden away because you may have Amy's experience or you may have my experience.
Yeah.
And mine was like, I've made a horrible mistake. And I think in general, when you get rid of things, another classic example, and you can read the stories on the internet about people going through garbage dumps looking for blankie. When your kid is ready to get rid of blankie, put it in the attic for a year. don't throw anything away that your kid says they're ready to get rid of. If you think you're done with bottles, great. Put them on a high shelf of the closet. But you don't want to find out the hard way that your kid on a Tuesday who said that they were ready to get rid of Blanky has spent 3 nights screaming and crying for Blanky. Like, they'll survive it, but I would not commit to the garbage can with anything. I would commit to a hiding place.
That reminds me, the Blanky thing reminds me of another hack I had that really worked. My youngest, when I used to go away at any point, she'd get really, really upset. She really had a hard time with it. So I would give her Blanky, again, like out of desperation, like, don't worry, I was going to be gone for 4 days or something. I'm going to kiss Blanky. Watch this. I'm kissing Blanky 8 times, 1 for each morning and 1 for each night. So you're going to, go to sleep with the kiss from mommy and you're going to wake up with the kiss from mommy. And she loved it and took it very seriously. The only problem was I didn't let my spouse in on this very important thing that was happening, and he washed the Blanky while I was gone. And so to her, like, the magic, you washed the kisses off.
The magic was disappeared.
It really helped her. And Kate said something related that when she goes away, she draws a little heart on her child's hand so that they'll have something from her when she's gone. I thought that was sweet. Again, like, ritual helps.
Ritual really helps. And also, like, tweet, right? Like, kids will survive losing their Blanky or you going away. Like, I get it. I'm team tweet on this. Like, let's not get too precious.
Well, I went, right? Like,
yeah. But if it makes it a little bit easier and it's low buy-in and low effort, I'm all for it. Why not? Mm-hmm. Ashley has one that it used to consume my life. Our library has been closed ever since the pandemic, but they're still not reopened. But have a separate place for the library books. She has a library books don't leave the living room rule. I have spent so many countless hours of my life that I will never get back searching for library books. I have paid to replace a book at the library and then found it a month later. Like, my kids on an acting resume, it says special skills. Like, if you know how to sword fight or speak a different language, under their special skills section is losing library books. They're champions at it. And so we now have a designated, it's not even a bookshelf. It's a place in our kitchen on the island that's a little nook, and I put label tape down and it says library books, and that's where the library books go. And so I'll check it every couple of days and I'm like, we're missing All of a Kind Family, the sequel, and everybody go find it. And then when it's library day, I pick up those books and I bring them back. Same, the school library books, my kids have library day where it's Tuesday. They have to bring their book back. Every Tuesday morning is chaos.
I have a funny school library story. So one day I'm cleaning my kids' rooms. They were little, and I found a book under the bed that definitely didn't belong to, I hadn't bought the book, so I wasn't sure how this book had come into my house. It was like Lizards Are Amazing. I don't remember what it was, some like sciencey book.
Sounds good.
And so at dinner, I'm like, whose book is this? Lizards Are Amazing. And the kids are like, I don't know. It's not mine. I'm like, well, how did it get into our house? I'm like, I don't know. And one of them was like, it's funny because their kindergarten teacher, she was just saying today, there's a book missing from this classroom. And where is it? And that book was also called Lizards Are Amazing. And he like totally didn't make the connection. Like, this is that book. I don't think so. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is the missing school library book. Do they print out? Do you get a printout from the library that with the receipt of everything you're taking out? Like, I don't get that from school, but I would get it from like our local library. Like, if you take out 12 books, they give you a receipt.
There's an app for that. It's an app on my phone.
See how old I am? Yeah. All right. At least you know that you're missing. You're not wondering what's missing.
Yeah. There's an app for that. So I just look at my app and it's like, okay, these are the 12 books we have out. Because I have 3 kids and sometimes they each get 3 books. And, it's 9 books. And then there's the books from school. And so, yes, those books must be cared for and looked after in a different way.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Because I was really tired of buying like Busy Town Goes to Work and then finding Busy Town Goes to Work.
Right.
A month later after I'd already paid the replacement fee for Busy Town Goes to Work.
This is a truly awesome hack, I think. Diva says she cleans the bathroom while the kids are in the bathtub. If you have splashers like me, it makes it easier to mop. Once the kids are out, you rinse out the tub and your mop, and you use your mop to clean the tub. Done.
So simple, but so genius. Another hack that I have is just never clean your bathroom. That also works. That's a time saver right there.
Yeah, it helps with the people around. Like when you're cleaning up people's mess, and sometimes they don't know that it's a mess because they don't clean it up. It helps to let the kids' bathroom, speaking with as a mother of 2 teenage boys, to get to a point that's really, truly like, wow, look what happens when nobody cleans a bathroom. Do you see all of this? I won't go into too much detail, but like, do you see all of this surrounding area? That's what's happening.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I have 2 boys who share a bathroom, and my rule is when I can smell your bathroom when I'm walking by on the staircase, it's time for someone to get in there and clean it.
It's time to clean the bathroom.
Time to clean.
But I love the idea of doing it when you have to be in there anyway.
I think that times and days for stuff, we have been having a really significant problem in my house of personal cleanliness and hygiene. And just especially as the pool starts to open, the kids they have to shower before they get in the pool. But that doesn't involve like shampoo. They're just rinsing off. And then as we discussed, we bought a hot tub. They're in and out of water a lot. And then somehow that has negated any need to actually shower. And I will notice that like one of my kids' hair has the consistency of like a bird's nest. And I think, oh, you haven't showered in I don't know how long. I'm thinking maybe 10 days because they don't really smell because they're in chlorine a lot, you know?
Do they sit around in the damp bathing suits or they did leave the damp bathing suits in a pile on the floor? What happens to those?
They do take the bathing suits off because I guess I kind of insist on that. But I hang up the bathing suits has become a rallying cry. But this thing of just missing showers. And so we decided that Wednesday and Sundays, everyone takes a shower.
Okay.
And so I don't have to have this thing of like every day keeping track of who showered when. And also we do usually Saturday morning cleanup. And so setting days helps the phenomenon of like we're just sliding into absolute chaos.
It also solves a phenomenon of like, did you take a shower? Like, Mom, get up. I will. Like, yes, but I asked you yesterday. Why do you keep asking me? Because you keep not taking a shower. When you move to today is Wednesday, it's wash your hair Wednesday, then you can't argue with that. You can't argue with the calendar. You can argue with Mom, but not the calendar.
Amy and I talk a lot when running our business of the podcast about like how many touches something takes, right? We're always trying to cut down on like, okay, then I send an email, then you follow up, then this. And whereas like there's too many touches on this particular thing. And that is a good rule as your kids become teenagers is like less touches. Wednesday is shower day means like exactly what Amy's saying. I'm not having 14. Did you shower? Will you shower? When will you shower? How about after dinner? What about that shower? Like that's too many touches on it. Wednesday is shower day. So like, hey, you have to go to bed at 9. If you want screens, you better take a shower now because otherwise you're not going to have screens. It's Wednesday shower night.
Let's talk about some of the stuff you can get off season that is totally useful. Kelly says she buys holiday pajamas for everybody, but she does it like in January, so they go on clearance. She says she gets sets for $5. And then she also gets like Halloween pajamas and Valentine's pajamas, but she gets them for the next year. This involves a little closet organizing. You have to know where they are 11 months from now.
This is not a tip for me. I'm not available for this tip. I am not organized enough. Like, my only tip would be like no themed clothing because I am constantly like, oh gosh, here's the black cat dress that is so cute for my 9-year-old on Halloween. And then I'm like, I have to put it somewhere special so we remember to wear it on Halloween. And then inevitably we do not wear it on Halloween and the cycle starts again.
And it's certainly,
I feel like my life is moving themed clothing around. I will say my hack is I put all the Christmas themed clothing in the Christmas basket. So it comes out when the decorations come out.
Right.
I maybe should do that with the Halloween themed clothing too. Like, cause we do have a box of pumpkins and stuff. Like maybe keep the themed clothing with the decorations, but like we don't decorate for Valentine's Day. So I cannot have Valentine's themed clothing. It will never be worn.
I used to buy when my kids were little, would buy Halloween costumes right after Halloween, but not to save for Halloween. My kids just like to wear Halloween costumes around the house.
Sure.
I got a leopard costume from Gap Kids. I swear it was $4.99, I think. Each of my 3 children wore it. And then it got passed down to a cousin who wore it until it was like capri length and then knee length. Like this $5 leopard costume got so much playtime wear. So I think that's the other thing that's useful is like get the costumes and then use them. Don't save them for Halloween. Let them parade around the house in them.
I will say my kids are 12, 11, and 9, and we still have a costume box in the playroom and it still gets used. Like Star Wars costumes will still come out for lightsaber battles. Like the costumes, that's another overall hack is like put stuff in storage and bring it away. You'd be surprised. Like your 11-year-old will play with blocks at a certain point. Like if you rotate stuff or you keep some of that stuff, it goes on longer than you'd imagine. All right, we'll be back with more super awesome mom hacks.
All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that: taking them to swim lessons. I mean, the pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence, all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE.
Close your eyes. Listen to Monday.com. Feel the sensation of an AI work platform. So flexible and intuitive, it feels like it was built just for you. Now open your eyes, go to Monday.com, start for free, and finally breathe.
And now, awesome mom hacks for summer.
From the What Fresh Hell podcast.
Listen, hot dogs are a completely acceptable dinner at least 5 nights a week.
Ice cream is also an acceptable dinner.
Also acceptable Tostitos. Totally fine.
Anybody who says they're bored has to clean the playroom.
Except for mom. Mom is exempted from the boredom rule.
Pick a light novel, as in not heavy, because you won't actually be reading it. You'll just be carrying it back and forth to the pool for 2 months straight.
Spray sunscreen directly into your child's mouth on the first day of summer to get them used to the taste.
Carefully label your children's clothing for camp so that the kid who takes the sweatshirt home can wonder who the heck is Sophia Conroy every time they wear it for the next year.
This has been Awesome Mom Hacks for Summer.
From the What Fresh Hell podcast. All right, let's talk laundry.
Oh, must we?
It's a thing. Shelly says she keeps a bottle of laundry stain treatment spray. I love how she went brand neutral there. Laundry stain treatment spray in each of her kids' dressers or closets. When she's changing them into their pajamas, if the clothes have stains, she treats them right there and then she throws them in the hamper. She doesn't have to remember. She doesn't have to walk over to the laundry room and do it. You know, she does it right then. I love that.
Again, I must say this is a level of clean children I will never achieve.
And it seems to me, she's saying her kids were 11 months and 3.5 years old, but it seems to me there's no reason my 16-year-old couldn't have some laundry stain treatment spray in his room, right? Maybe we'll use it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I was just folding laundry and my reaction is kind of like, oh, look, this is stained. And I guess my kid will wear it anyway. I don't know. My hack with laundry is that I batch laundry. I don't do laundry. I do laundry like once a week, maybe once every 10 days. And then I do everything in the house. I like to have one bad day of laundry. And then I have Real Housewives or something on the TV while I fold. And I alternate clothes and towels. Because then like you go to do the folding and you're like, oh, it's only towels. It's just 5 minutes of folding them and putting them away, or sheets. So I alternate like a billion socks with towels so that I have a bad fold and then a good fold.
Socks are the worst. And I was having so much more trouble than usual with the mismatched socks. Like I keep a basket in my laundry room for orphan socks.
As does everyone, yes.
And then about every 6 months, I just declare bankruptcy and throw them all out, like if the match hasn't shown up by now. But the amount of mismatched socks had just like hockey sticked upward and I wasn't sure why. Turns out, so my spouse is like a super workout guy and he's always like hurting himself a little bit because he does these, insane CrossFit, like push the edges of your physical ability stuff. So anyway, he ended up having to put like an ankle brace on, which I ignore, by the way. Like it's like you can do your CrossFit and I don't want to hear about it. And I don't want to talk about like your elbow that you wrenched doing an optional workout. I don't want to hear about it, right? So he was wearing this ankle thing, which I didn't know about because he knew I'd be annoyed that he hurt his ankle. So he was wearing 2 different socks. socks. So like, no, this is the end. Like, you're definitely in charge of all your, I'm just going to hand you a basket of your socks, because he's actually wearing mismatched socks on purpose that then have to get like matched back up again.
My mother-in-law famously once came up from our basement. She was helping with the laundry and she said, "Oh, good news. The laundry is done." And I was like, the only route to happiness is accepting that the laundry is never done. I was saying on another episode that I have come to accept that, like, I don't like cooking dinner. I don't want any more suggestions about hacks for how to make the dinner time prep easier. I just don't like cooking dinner. It's something I have to do, and I do it. And there may be things that make it marginally easier, but there is no, this is how to make dinner time fun and flawless for me. And the same thing with the socks, because the thing is, yes, you declare bankruptcy, you throw out the socks, and in the very next load, there's unmatched socks.
There's unmatched socks.
And you kind of then secretly know that you've thrown out some of the matches.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. The very next load has the matches for what you just threw out.
I have a friend who wrote Sisyphus on her laundry machine, and that's what laundry is. It is Sisyphean. Mm-hmm. It is constant. It is never satisfying. There is no box to check. And I think that freeing yourself from the idea that laundry will be better, it's helpful mentally.
I like Shannon's tip. She says, when kids get too big for a bib, we use what we call the spaghetti shirt. It's an old t-shirt or a hand-me-down to be used for messy meals and art projects. We store them in the kitchen drawer, and then we wash it with the other cleaning rags so we keep the mess away from regular clothes.
Ah, that is a good, I would have never thought of that.
I love it. I love that it's there in the kitchen with the cleaning stuff. Love it. And then Hannah says, when the kids are out playing in the snow, she lays a huge beach towel by the door. She has them take off all their wet snow on the towel, takes the boots off, and then wraps the rest of it up in the towel and throws it in the dryer, ready for round 2 later in the day. Hannah, you're very wise, because it's not one and done with going out in the snow either.
We finally bought like this crazy giant metal clothing sorter, like a clothing dryer, you know, for drying clothes.
Like a rack, you mean?
Yeah, it's a big foldable rack. And so we pull that out in the winter. It lives behind the like lockers, and then it comes out, and then a heater goes next to it, and the clothes all go on there. And I had to do some lessons on like you put one thing on at a time, and then we put the heater next to it and it dries. I'm like not willing to involve laundry in the snow outings. And so they throw their clothes on there and they're done.
All right. Love it. Here's a good hack for kids' clothes. Hillary said she had a lot of issues with getting ready in the morning because her daughter couldn't decide what to wear. She put up 5 hooks on the wall, and she hangs up 5 full outfits on Sunday. She says, including shoes. My kid doesn't have that many pairs of shoes, but I guess if you have options, leave them there. And then the kid can pick from the 5 outfits. It isn't like this hook is Monday and this hook is Wednesday. It's like any of these 5 outfits are available. And then by Friday, there's only one outfit. There's only one hook left with clothes on it. And so that's the choice. Choose once. It's very lazy genius.
Yeah, that choose once idea from Lazy Genius is so... Just explain choose once very briefly for people who haven't heard it.
It is, the Lazy Genius has a website and podcast. We've actually had her on as a guest, so I'll link to her in the show notes. But she talks about choosing once and how that makes things easier. Like for my choose once example is I give the same baby gift. Every time a friend or a colleague or whatever has a baby, I send the same baby gift. It's a monogram baby sweater. And I know what it is, so I don't have to wonder about it. The woman who answers the phone at the store is like, okay, another one. What does it say this time? And, give me the address. It's so easy. This is, you're deciding once. Your daughter and you are deciding once a week what outfits are going to happen this week. And then it takes all the grief away of Monday through Friday.
Yeah, that really helped me, that choose once idea of like, okay, choose once. We do Wednesday spaghetti night, like choose once for dinner one night a week. That's taken care of. Like anytime you can make one decision instead of 20 is good.
Our families got together. We talked about that in the last episode, that we had sort of for the first time, our whole families, Margaret, me, our spouses, our kids, all in one room. And anyway, your husband brought us a bottle of cider, like sparkling cider, hard cider.
Okay, let me just correct you very quickly. My husband handed you a bottle of cider.
But I'm sure he was in charge of procuring and chilling.
Let me say what didn't happen. That my husband thought, what should we bring with us when we go to visit Amy's family? Oh, should we bring something? Yes, let's do that. What would be? Okay.
I'm so shocked.
My husband handed you a bottle of cider.
Okay, you're right.
While I was busy putting sunscreen on my children. Go ahead. Continue.
It's like him turning on the grill for the skirt steak you've been marinating all day. Anyway, but you decided once, right? He said, we buy a case of this every year and we give it to friends and we love this. And that's a decide once right there.
Yeah, we go upstate, we get a case. I'll give him a shout out. Fujack Sparkling. It's alcoholic cider. And it's nice to bring, especially summer. I don't know. It's nice in the fall. It's just nice instead of like a bottle of wine, everyone's got it. It's a little bit more like, oh, if you're going to someone's house, it's like, here's something to bring that's a little bit nice.
All right, let's do a couple of kitchen ones. Rochelle says she uses kitchen scissors to chop up grapes, toast. It's never occurred to me. Pancakes, meatballs, pizza, you name it. Can't remember how I lived before kitchen scissors.
I agree, but I find kitchen scissors can be... The second part of this is you have to get kitchen scissors that come apart, because otherwise you can't wash them and they get gross too quickly. You have to get the ones that...
Yeah.
And they're a pain because sometimes they come apart when you don't want them to, but to really wash kitchen scissors...
Yes.
I think you have to get the ones that come apart.
I didn't know. I always wondered why my kitchen scissors fell apart all the time. It's because you're supposed to so they can be cleaned? I didn't know.
Yes, because otherwise the stuff gets stuck in the grooves and then you're like, I kind of want to chop up some parsley, but that looks like old meatball in there and it's gross.
You can also use pizza cutters. Laura says she uses pizza cutters for pancakes.
We got, after much trial and error, we like to make pizzas at our house. Here's a hack. Make your own pizza dinner. We started during the pandemic because we were trying to give business to local restaurants. We would pick up pizza dough and sauce and cheese. Now we just get the pizza dough. And then we get a cauliflower crust. We do a veggie one. We mix it all up. But make your own pizza is a great dinner, especially if you're picky eaters like I do. It's a little bit like, well, you can pick what goes on yours. And it has resulted. My daughter's go-to pizza is pizza sauce and sausage, no cheese.
Right.
She asked if she could make it with ketchup instead of pizza sauce. And I was like, that's actually a bridge too far of grossness for me. My son likes cheddar cheese and bacon. Like, they can really just make whatever they want on them. But it's the kind of dinner where you're all eating as a family, but everybody kind of gets just what they want for dinner, which is great.
We do this whenever we have extra kids visiting, cousins, friends, whatever. We'll often do something we call walking tacos.
Yeah.
And it's just everything you'd put in a taco, but it's in bowls and you walk down the table because some kid's going to have a cheese taco and that's it, right? And I had one of those kids and that's fine. And then somebody else wants the jalapenos, whatever. But you lay it out and then everybody's having something.
It's kind of a nice thing. Even when we had dinner with you guys as a family, Amy's kids are a little bit older than mine. My kids are probably not as good eaters as Amy's kids, but it was kind of like a smorgasbord of leftovers kind of stuff. But it was like, oh, my kids will eat the steak and they'll have a little bit of zucchini and they'll that's a nice way to throw a meal in general when you've got a bunch of kids, because you're not doing the thing of everyone staring at the kid who won't eat lasagna and the mom is really feeling awful. It's nice to kind of be it's pick and choose, but it's one meal. So it's not like everyone has to eat the same prepared weird casserole that your kid may not like. And I'm fine with your kid not liking it, but it's enough options that everybody can find something they'll eat on the table. Love it. But what I was saying before about pizza cutters is we finally, after lots of trial and error, got one. It's like a heavy duty pizza cutter. It's got a big sharp blade and it's got a big hard handle. And we're just slicing and dicing at our house. I use it for everything. I cut everything up with that bad boy.
I want to finish with a very important specific thing you might need to know if your kid gets a Lego up his nose. Kimberly says...
Now, it's a mom hack you may never want to need, but you may need it.
We're narrowcasting.
This will save you a trip to the urgent care.
As I say on Twitter, somebody needs to hear this. I don't know who it is, but...
I don't know who needs to hear this, but when your kid shoves a Lego up their nose, close the opposite nostril, the non-blocked nostril, and have them blow hard. It will probably come down far enough for you to grab it with tweezers.
Let's hope. We are not medical. We're not doctors.
No, this is not medical advice. And don't use the needle nose. Use the softer tweezers.
Maybe take them to the urgent care and have them do this at the urgent care, but it might work.
Yeah, well, my daughter, I got called to school. And they were like, she stuck a pencil eraser in her ear. And my whole night was like, now I got to take her to the urgent care and blah, 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 blah. And let me tell you, I was able to get it with tweezers myself. And I just felt superhuman. It was my greatest achievement.
That's a super awesome mom hack.
Yeah, if you can save yourself a trip to the urgent care, your life is worth living.
Hey guys, have you checked out our merch store yet? bit.ly/whatfreshmerch. We have everything. We have sweatshirts and notebooks and this. We have tweet stuff. There's always a thing and a thing stuff. I just ordered myself an Oldie Lock sweatshirt. I'm hoping I might meet a fan in the wild wearing my Oldie Lock sweatshirt. Keep an eye out on the gritty streets.
Oh, I am going on the merch store and checking it out myself. bit.ly/whatfreshmerch.
Yeah.
All lowercase letters, or just find the link on our Facebook page or our website or anywhere. But come buy some merch and join the Oldie Locks or any of the What Fresh Hell reps out there. And when you get your merch, put a picture of it on our Facebook page because we want to see you wearing it.
We would love that.
And with that, friends, I hope you enjoyed these hacks, and we will talk to you on our next episode.
So long.
Thanks for listening.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 40% off site-wide, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.